Welcome back to the beginner's guide for making safe BHO. Today's topic, open blasting. This is indeed the more dangerous part of the process, and that's why you'll notice that I am standing outside. Step one is going to be to prepare our material. I like to break down the particle size to make sure that the butane has even distribution when in the column. So I'm basically going to use these big ass pair of scissors and I'm going to chop this down. I've got the material down to a workable particle size. Step two is preparation of the column. I've got the column in front of me over here. We have the column itself. We've got the tripod at the bottom. We have the valve where I can also attach my coffee filter. We have the top clamp. I've got the two gaskets. Then I have the little key, as I like to call it, to control the valve. All of this together makes up the column. So I'm going to go ahead and build it. And now that the column is prepared, step three is to load your material. I've got approximately 150 Gs of material that I'm going to be putting into this column, filling it, and then slowly pressing down the material to get to the capacity. Because it's a solvent, I'm actually able to pack quite a bit into each run. I always weigh everything out on my scale. So basically it's just loading the material using a paper funnel, putting a tiny bit in each time so that it doesn't clog the hole. So I filled my column and we're just about to go to step four, but I just want to show you this top piece, which is the top cap for the unit. You put your gasket on and then you place the cap on, and then you obviously seal it up tightly. This has the perfect size hole at the top to put a Newport butane canister into it, which is this over here. I like to use Newport because there's near zero impurities and it's definitely proven to be one of the cleanest on the market. Column's tightened up, it's full of material. Now it's time to get to what we've all been waiting for, the blasting. For this next step, we're going to be making use of the butane. So now it's the reason that we're outside and where some of the dangers come in. Butane is a flammable gas. It's highly dangerous to work with if there are electrical components around, if someone were to spark a lighter or something along those lines. So please be careful when doing this part. I always wear gloves and I always blast outside to make sure that I am going to be safe when creating this beautiful extract. I'm going to be making use of the full column, my two awesome bowls, one where I'm going to put hot water and the other one where the material is going to be blasted in. And then because my column is a little bit short, I always have my three trusty blasting bricks with me. I need to first raise the column up. I'll use the bricks, measure everything out. I'm now going to fill it with some hot water and get the butane. Step four is where the danger comes in. I have my column in front of me over here. I've got my Bain Marine in the bottom. I'm basically going to pour hot water into this bottom bowl and then the material will come into this top bowl, and I have 4 cans of frozen butane. Firstly, like I said, I'm going to put hot water into my bottom container and then I'll place this into the container above. What this does is it heats up the bowl, meaning when the butane hits, it evaporates faster, making this slightly safer. Then my column goes above. It's time now to activate the blast. I'm going to do 4 canisters. I like to build pressure with 1 canister first, allow that to evaporate through, and then flush it until the material coming out has gone to a clear color. That's where you know that you've gotten most of the material out of the column. Guys, let's blast. So after I feel that quite a bit of the first canister has gone in, I like to open the bottom up a little bit and to start to release some of the pressure. This is now obviously the butane is running through the column into the bottom section. We don't see any just yet, but I do know that there is some gas coming out right now. But because I have frozen cans of butane, it stays slightly longer in liquid format. And also, as you can see, as the butane spreads through the column, you're actually seeing the column starting to freeze up as well. And then also the cold helps to not pull some of the waxes and lipids off of the leaf matter, meaning at the end of the day I'll get a slightly cleaner material. So once the pressure has stopped a bit on the canister, I'll pop off the first one. With the second canister, the column nearly freezes completely, and now we start to get some runoff at the bottom. And there it is, some beautiful golden liquid falling into the bowl. It's also super reactive, bubbling heavily in front of us over here. That's 2 canisters done. On to the 3rd canister. You can see some material actually caught up in the coffee filter. I didn't get it 100%. It is bubbling a tiny bit, but all in all looking super good so far. So you can see that after the 4th canister, the column is completely frozen and we have our material bubbling away in the Bain Marine at the bottom. I like to leave it a little bit just to trip off and for the Bain Marine to empty a bit. And then we'll repeat this a couple times until I have enough material to pop into the vac chamber. So I'm gonna hit that from a different angle. So that was my guide to open blasting. I've blasted this column over here a couple of times. We've made a whole bunch of material and now we're gonna take it into the vacuum chamber to clean it up, and that's gonna be next week's episode on the beginner's guide to making BHO. I hope you've learned something from my method. How are you guys doing it? What are you doing differently? I'm brand new at this. You know, it's something that I'm super passionate about and I just want to learn with the community out there. So to show me some support, remember to like and subscribe. Until next time, guys, peace out.